Mark Brantley, the leader of the incumbent Concerned Citizens Movement, CCM, said there are concrete plans for Nevis's development with the equitable sharing of CBI revenue between the two islands. Confident of his party's return to federal office in a coalition with the People's Action Movement on St. Kitts, Brantley said CCM is committed to building out Nevis's economy, infrastructure, social services, increasing affordable housing, and introducing Nevis's version of the peace program STEP and PAP. But he said such progress is only realized with financial resources. Both parties, PAM and CCM, have expressed their commitment to work out the details of the CBI revenue sharing within the first 100 days of taking office in the federal government.
We have committed to some extensive infrastructural development. We want to put a stadium over at the Mondo track. We want to enhance and advance the Vance Amway International Airport. We want, finally, to be able to get geothermal energy so that our people are rescued from the fuel surcharge. And we wean ourselves off fossil fuels. We commit ourselves to that. And the people of Hanley's Road and Gingerland would be delighted to know that we have committed ourselves to building a highway along the southern coast of Nevis to take us from Long Point all the way to Gingerland. These are critical projects. And as we go along in this campaign, we will continue to outline what our intentions are. We want, ladies and gentlemen, to pay down some of the debt that we have here in Nevis. Do you know, to this day, we are trapped in a situation created not by us, but by the NRP, where we owe Trinidad money for lands that should have been already paid off for. As a result of that, some people in Nugent Heights and those areas can't get their title. And so we have, ladies and gentlemen, concrete plans for our money.
According to Brantley, the politically abusive treatment of Nevis and the Nevisians from the federal government must come to an end. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
Former Chief Medical Officer Dr. Patrick Martin is suggesting that low staff morale is one of the biggest challenges facing the healthcare sector in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Healthcare is about people serving people. Healthcare is not only about equipment. Healthcare is fundamentally about people serving people. The people who are doing the serving, they are called care providers, essential frontline workers. They are not having a good time. There is considerable concern about their working conditions and how they are treated. Rates of pay are in the mix.
Added to this, Dr. Martin is alleging that competent persons have been, quote, cleansed from the health ministry, end quote.
There has been a cleansing, quote unquote, a cleansing of the Ministry of Health in St. Kitts of competent people. People who had institutional memory. And so the complaints have piled up.
The full interview with Dr. Martin can be found on www.voiceofthecaribbean.net on the latest edition of Let's Talk St. Kitts and Nevis, where he spoke at length about the challenges of healthcare and whether the promises made on the political platform in relation to healthcare are realistic. Andre Huey, SKN at Newsline.
When you're looking to sell, buy, rent, or manage a property, your answer has to be Diamond Real Estate and Management St. Kitts, Dreams. They provide oversight of real estate and physical property in St. Kitts and Nevis, perform regular maintenance, utility payments, and safety checks to ensure your property is well kept. Dreams manages and optimizes your rental listing, recruits tenants, and much more. Looking to sell that parcel of land or property, or dreaming of owning your own? Trust Dreams under the leadership and experience of its CEO, Velma Merchant. Many can attest to her professionalism and customer service. Diamond Real Estate Management St. Kitts. Call 663-7326 or visit their office at 15 Shadwell Industrial Estate, making your real estate dreams come true.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports. all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
When visiting St. Martin, you want clean, affordable accommodations. You need Midtown Motel in the heart of Phillipsburg, a place where you can relax, take a stroll on Great Bay Beach, and that provides you easy access to great shopping. Midtown Motel, located on Front Street, Phillipsburg, St. Martin. Call Midtown Motel at 721-542-0614 and book your stay today. Come get your fresh smoothie at Master Mix Smoothie in Bastyr at 2 locations, the Bastyr Public Market or under the arch at the National Museum. Get a fresh, all-natural, healthy and tasty smoothie with flavors of your choice. Master Mix Smoothie knows the flavors that you like and mixes it all up for you the way you want it. Master Mix Smoothie, 2 locations, the Bastyr Public Market or under the arch at the National Museum. Master Mix Smoothie, always the real thing, always smoothie.
Nestled between evergreen mountains and the Caribbean Sea on the island of St. Kitts is the Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center. With breathtaking views, a rugged, beautiful shoreline, and immaculate manicured gardens make this the perfect location for your holiday, event, or wedding. With a large convention center, apartments with balconies providing stunning views, and a secluded cottage for larger family groups or honeymooning couples looking for some privacy. We have something for everyone. Book your stay at www.millhouseskn.com or visit our Facebook page, the Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center, an oasis of tranquility.
A request made to the Integrity Commission of Nevis by the Nevis Reformation Party has been denied, with Commissioner Chairman Ricardo Keynes indicating to NRP's leader, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, that the request was beyond the scope of the Commission. The request made by the Nevis Reformation Party on behalf of the people of Nevis concerned Minister Spencer Brand, a member of the current CCM-led Nevis Island administration. The NRP complaint and request came as a result of a comment made by Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris regarding the CBI-approved hotel development project of Mr. Brand. The Prime Minister's remarks implied impropriety on behalf of Mr. Brand and the Nevis Island administration. However, Mr. Brand responded in public statements that his project was approved years ago when he was a private citizen and before he became an elected official of the NIA. Nevertheless, NRP's leader, Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, wrote to the Integrity Commission Nevis seeking to have the Commission implement an investigation into the matter. On 7th July 2022, the Commission responded to Dr. Daniel Hodge, copied to the news media and others, stating the reasons why the Commission cannot engage her request. The Commission's response states in part, quote, on a review of the ordinance and an assessment of the complaint file, this matter does not fall within the lawful remit of the Commission based on the ordinance. The Commission has no power to authorize an investigator or team of investigators to conduct an independent investigation of the matters raised in your complaint, end quote. Commissioner Chairman Ricardo Keynes wrote in his response that the ordinance only allows for investigations in respect to the declaration of assets, liabilities, and income filed by the persons in public life. In the letter to Dr. Daniel Hodge, the Commissioner wrote, quote, the Commission can only investigate the declarations filed by the Honourable Minister Spencer Brand for the period 2018 to 2019, 2019 to 2020, 2020 to 2021 into the accuracy or fullness of the declaration filed with us by him, end quote. The filing dates correspond with the periods that Minister Brand has been a public official, and the complaint refers to the CBI-related project that was approved before he became an elected public official, or to the period he invested in the project as a private citizen. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
If you're looking for a place to host that special event, conference, meeting, social event, party, whatever the occasion, your best option is the Millhouse Convention Center, Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Located on the picturesque Garvey's Estate, the Millhouse Guesthouse Convention Center has enough space for outdoor events overlooking the Caribbean Sea. If you're looking indoors, the center is equipped with amenities needed to make your event a success. And by combining both spaces, you're sure to have a memorable event, no matter the occasion. Call the offices at Millhouse Guesthouse and Convention Center to book your next event on simply the most beautiful place in St. Kitts. Call 668-1392. Millhouse Convention Center at Garvey's Estate, Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Making your event memorable.
It's the new and improved SK Newsline Android mobile app. With the SK Newsline app, you can watch your news reports, the SK Newsline Newscast, sports, special features, and so much more. You can also send us a WhatsApp or call us directly. Go in the Google Play Store, search SK Newsline, and download the app today. The SK Newsline mobile app. News on the go.
An open interactive event can be described as
tremendous, effective,
on par with any conference around the world.
From exhibitions to trade shows, corporate events to product launches, from press events to political functions. We are the secret sauce behind events that make you go, wow. We've staged multiple world-class events in the Caribbean and developed the skill to deliver quality in every detail, whether the event is live or fully virtual, or maybe even somewhere in between. At Open Interactive, we got your events covered. Get your free quotation today at www.madebyopen.com.
Of the National Tushaus Council Conference, which is being held for 5 days at the Arthur Chang Conference Center, was off to a good start with a presentation from Prime Minister Mark Phillips and his team. During his presentation, the Prime Minister disclosed the plans of improving ICT hubs in indigenous communities, as well as investing in solar power systems.
Many of you, your community is located in what we term off-grid areas. You're not part of the Demerara-Borbis interconnected system. You're off-grid areas. So we are investing heavily, as you will hear from the next presentation, in ensuring that we bridge what I will call the energy divide. Everybody know about the digital divide. I call it the energy dividing there now. Ensuring you and your communities get electrical power.
Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Energy Agency, Dr. Mahinder Sharma, highlighted that as part of efforts to bridge the energy gap in indigenous communities, the Office of the Prime Minister, through the Hinterland Electrification Program, supports the installation of ICT hubs.
Our engineers and electricians have been installing the solar panels. These are 4 kilowatt systems with batteries. And to date, we've completed more than 36 of these installations at a number of locations. And so I'm just going to run this through very quickly. Just to give you an idea, Carriacaria, Leluni, Siparuta, Carao, Cartabo, Batavia, Mykovi.
Education Minister Priya Manikchand took a blow at critics in the opposition's camp who have found fault with the condition of students returning textbooks in order to become eligible for the $30,000 cash grant.
Throughout the history of this country, the return of textbooks have always precipitated the award of other services. I had to give back my textbooks before I got my CXC results, and I couldn't find one. And they didn't give me my slip until I got the results. The reason it was never attached to a cash grant is because you never had a cash grant before.
The Ghana Teachers Union General Secretary Coretta MacDonald indicated during an exclusive interview with this newscast that such conditions should be ruled out. She urged the ministry to reconsider the policy, taking into consideration scores of single parents struggling to ensure their children acquire the requisite necessities for the new term. Manik Chand explained that there will be exceptions to the policy. However, the ministry's priority is to encourage the return of as many books as possible.
Majority of people in this country, including parents, are very interested in returning the textbooks, and have been returning them. But I'm
in excess of 1 billion Ghana dollars will be given out to thousands of school-aged children at $30,000 each beginning August 2022. In response, the village leaders who had reported concerns of inadequate access to televised educational programs and smart classrooms, Manakchan committed to making the Learning Channel available to all communities.
54% of the schools in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9 have the television sets and the Learning Channel, where you never before had that. Now,
the National Tushaus Council Conference is being held under the theme Good Governance and Fast Tracking Amerindian Development. Tamika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly.
Demonstrate again that the COVID-19 is nowhere near over.
A stark warning from Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. He's concerned by not only rising numbers of cases and deaths in some parts of the world, but the response as well.
The virus is running freely, and countries are not effectively managing the disease burden based on their capacity in terms of both hospitalization for acute cases and the expanding number of people with post-COVID-19 condition, often referred to as long COVID.
He wants all countries to push back at the virus as it pushes at us, indicating the world is in a much better position than at the start of the pandemic. He insists this is no time for complacency.
Governments should also work to reverse the reduction in surveillance, testing, and sequencing, and share antivirals effectively. Vaccines have saved millions of lives, and it's important for governments to focus on boosting those most at-risk communities, finding the unvaccinated so as to build up the wall of immunity toward the 70% vaccination target.
He says this is crucial given the constant threat of new variants emerging. So the word from the WHO is, much progress has been made, but vigilance must be maintained lest those gains be eroded by an ever-evolving virus.
Protests have taken to the streets of Panama, demanding the government take action to combat the high cost of living. Prices of gasoline, medicine, and basic food items have doubled since the start of the year.
People are protesting everywhere, and we are ready to start an indefinite strike until they sit down with us to discuss and find solutions to this unsustainable situation.
Teachers were the first to demonstrate at the start of July, but they have since been joined by construction workers, students, and members of indigenous groups. In the central province of Veraguas, protesters blocked the Pan American Highway, affecting access of goods to the Panama Canal from other Central American countries. President Laurentino Cortizo blamed COVID and the war in Ukraine for the cost hikes. He promised to reduce the price of gasoline by 24% and freeze the cost of 10 basic food items to try and dissuade protesters.
One of
the problems now hitting Panamanians and the world is rising fuel prices and the consequences. For that reason, I set up talks to address high fuel costs directly impacting the cost of staple foods, with the objective of finding concrete and feasible solutions.
But on Tuesday, protesters called the offer insufficient, demanding larger reductions and vowed to keep up their pressure on the streets. Analysts say the problem lies in an unequal economic recovery following the pandemic.
The macro numbers are based on a few items: logistics, the national airline, mining, and the Panama Canal. But the growth did not trickle down to the population while prices went up. So working-class Panamanians are wondering why, if the country is growing at 6.5%, they are unable to pay for medicine and gasoline.
The government is hoping for negotiations with union leaders, but for now, more demonstrations are planned.
The SKNFA Division 1 Final Four playoffs got underway Tuesday evening at the Warner Park, which saw a victory for Mantam, edging Connery Fireballs International 1-0. That goal came from Eversley Davis in the 29th minute. That was the lone goal for the evening as the match between E and K Minimart, Sandy Point FC and Security Forces ended in a 0-0 stalemate. The SKNFA Division 1 playoffs continue this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Warner Park. There are only 2 SKNFA Premier League matches on the weekend, with Fast Cash Saddlers United drawing 2-2 with Sol Island Auto Supplies Connery FC in a very tense affair, while Flow Fujiken Rockets edged Bath United 1-0. Evans Roy Barnes scored for Saddlers in the 15th minute and Kurt Mills in the 32nd minute, but Kenroy Hodge and Byron Phillips scored for Connery in the 21st and 51st minute respectively to ensure they came away with a draw. Due to a fight towards the latter end of the match, several players on both teams got red cards. Gillandry Maynard picked up his second yellow card in the 63rd minute, giving him an automatic red. But then around the 86th minute, after the fight occurred between both teams, Brandon Phillip and Byron Phillip were sent off with straight red cards in the 86th and 88th minute, and Fernando Williams received his marching orders for Saddlers in the 87th minute. So too did Carl Chewett for Saddlers in the 88th minute, all sent off for violent conduct. In the other match of the weekend, Hot Springs Bath United edged out 1-0 by Flow Fujiken Rockets, Mervyn Lewis scoring the lone goal for Keon in the 35th minute. Jalden Myers of Bath was sent off in the 81st minute after receiving a second yellow card of the match. After the match, we spoke to Keon's assistant coach, Jazza Buchanan.
Assessment of the game is that we was trying to do a lot more in terms of keeping more possession of the ball and to let Bath do more work. This is a condition that Bath been playing in for some time. This is the first time we're playing since we started the season that we play around 6 o'clock. So in terms of the sun arm early on, and so it took a toll on us in the first half. We just managed to get a goal with the kind of pressure that Bath had on us.
Here are the point standings after this weekend's results. The SKNFA Premier League continues Friday at 6 p.m. when Esgrave Newtown United play Trafalgar South Stars, and at 8:15 p.m. Flow Fujiken Rockets versus Fast Cash Saddlers United.
Welcome to the SKN Newsline Weather Report. I am Janil Boone. Here is a look at the forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. For a more detailed weather report, visit our website at www.sknnewsline.com.